We all were shocked, I think, when the Game Awards came and went with no mention of an Elden Ring expansion. I think we all were just anticipating it because we thought, even if it's not coming out like this year, at the end of this year, shadow dropping in December. I guess that's a pun because the expansion calls Shadow of the Air Tree, so shadow dropping would be really funny. But anyway, even if it wasn't coming out in December, I think we all still expected it to maybe come out in like early 2024, maybe February, where everything's coming out, or like March, or maybe they shoot for May. I was still expecting to see something, a trailer, an announcement, just something. But we didn't hear a word about it. However, new leaks are actually suggesting that those initial expectations might not be that far off, and it's a little strange, even more so, that we didn't hear anything about it, because new Elden Ring expansion leak details. Okay, what does it say? According to a new leak, an upcoming collaboration between Elden Ring and Thrustmaster, that's my nickname, or was in college, sync with the new Shadow of the Air Tree expansion for an anniversary celebration. This suggests that the next DLC could arrive around February 25th, which is when Elden Ring originally launched in 2022. Isn't it insane that in just a couple months, Elden Ring will be 2 years old? Do you feel old yet? We're getting closer to death every day, boys. Get ready. So they go on. In addition to early images of the potential Thrustmaster controller designs for 2024, a second collaboration might be in the works for 2025. This release would also sync with another expansion or major key beat. Weird. The leaks originally appeared on a product page at Data Blitz, but the page was swiftly removed. Images that were backed up elsewhere were also promptly taken down. This adds to the potential validity of the leak. And the tweet specifically is this. This shows it. This claims that they can be synced with the DLC release on Elden Ring's anniversary, which is February 25th. And it's since been taken down. They show this. Bandai Namco and Thrustmaster Elden Ring collab. Sync with new Shadow of the Air Tree expansion release. Elden Ring anniversary. I mean, I feel like previously they've always telegraphed the expansions well before release date. So I would be really surprised if they just shadow dropped it. Because at this point, what are we suggesting that they're going to do? Are they just going to drop a trailer on their YouTube channel casually in February and be like, it's available today or next week? Like, are they really going to do that? Like, I think it'll work. It'll still sell gangbusters. But why not let the hype build it? You know, why not? I will say that, like, this doesn't look like your typical leak. I wouldn't buy this. I don't think it, personally, this is not in my taste, but you know, I could see how some people might like it. Design agreed for sample submission by Bandai Namco. I don't even really know what that means, but okay. It also lists a second year of collaboration for a major key beat or new game expansion in 2025 with 2 new controller releases. This is also really weird. Release to be synchronized with 2025 Elden Ring major key beat or new game expansion. I have no idea what that means. So, but all this to say, according to these leaks, this is something that could be coming out in early, or rather late February of 2024. Fans have quickly noted that it would be strange if Elden Ring didn't mention a big expansion coming as soon as February at the Game Awards. It would be really weird, especially because they won Game of the Year last year. However, maybe they're pissed because of what happened at the very end with, my Jewish rabbi, Bill Clinton. Maybe that's why they decided to just not do it. Maybe they're like really put off by Jeff Keighley. That's possible. But then again, they also showcased another big Bandai Namco game at the Game Awards. So I don't know. However, there's still room for an announcement this month. Elden Ring announcements have cut it pretty close before, and it would certainly make for a terrific holiday gift. Note that if the Thrustmaster collaboration is planning to sync with the expansion releases, the dates are hardly concrete. The leaks could also be referring to announcement dates rather than actual release dates. It could, because like they would announce it and then put it up for sale at the same time. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to release. Does availability mean that they're going to release on that date, or does that mean that they're going to be available for pre-order with the expansion or something? Who knows? But at the very least, this would suggest that they are planning, or at least have previously been planning on it coming out early next year, which is interesting. I mean, it would have been 2 years since Elden Ring. 2 years is an awful long time for a DLC expansion. I mean, it's probably a pretty meaty one. And maybe that's just because, you know, they're really hyped for it. Maybe they're doing a ton of stuff for it. I don't know, but it has been a good long while. Now, with all that said, even if this is just total BS, and even if they are just like showing off these little things, and maybe this was like a constructed fake leak because they wanted to generate hype, because I don't think I've heard of Thrustmaster before. Maybe I have, but I don't really remember it. So maybe this is just a big marketing ploy and way to get people talking about Thrustmaster controllers. I'm not sure. Maybe. Even so, it doesn't change the fact that by the time at this point we get the Elden Ring DLC, it will have been 2 years. And that's a long time for an expansion. That is a long time. So I'm excited for it because it means that they probably have not been sitting on their hands. Of course, they launched Armored Core 6, but Armored Core 6 was developed by a separate team within the studio. And Hidetaka Miyazaki's involvement in that pretty much started and stopped in the pre-production phase. He didn't actually come in and do a lot of stuff in the active development process after the fact. He was there for the pre-production when they were working on combat and those prototypes, and then he went to work on Elden Ring while they finished up this. So he's been working pretty hard at it, I think. So I don't know. We'll see how the cookie crumbles with this too. I'm hopeful. I would love to have a big Elden Ring expansion, but dear God Almighty, if it launches in February, we all will have no time for anything. Like, I think they could release it and it'll do very, very well in February. I think they could also drop it in like April or May and it would do amazingly well and probably dominate more of the headlines. But man, we will see. 0% chance execs okayed not having a big marketing push for this DLC. Unless they're like so confident in it that they're like, hey, we don't really need it. It's going to print money regardless. Word of mouth is crazy high for Elden Ring. Why waste the money on marketing when we can drop like a trailer and just do that? Like GTA 6. I mean, they just drop a trailer. They don't need to push anything too hard. Everybody will do it for them, you know?